Hey everyone, it's Don with Don's Field of Dreams Cards with a video response for Rick Vintage Oddball Cards. And this is in celebration of Rick's 1,000 sub. They reached a week or two ago. Great job, Rick. You're one of my favorite channels to watch. Just love your enthusiasm, your dry wit, and the cards you show are amazing. So if for some reason you have not seen Rick's channel, you definitely should check it out. Good stuff and a good guy. So what he's asking us to do is show players that we dislike or hate. And I'm going to put a little bit of a twist of mine because I don't really have a lot of players that I dislike, but there's some things that happened to them or didn't happen to them that I dislike. That being said, the first exception here is Barry Bonds. I do dislike this guy. So he fits in Rick's category. When he played for the Pirates, and I guess with the Giants too, he was just an arrogant ass, to put it simply. Very pompous, just rude to reporters, rude to fans, just not a nice guy. And I'll try putting a link on, if I remember, there's a great video of Jim Leyland, who was the manager at the time, just reaming him a new one. Just going off on him, saying this isn't about you, and if you don't like it, you can leave, and it's a pretty entertaining video. The second reason I probably don't like him is the throw he made in the playoffs to try to cut down Sid Bream, who was a former Pirate, who slid in safe to win the playoffs to go to the World Series for the Atlanta Braves. And then he did leave us as a free agent. As you'll see a little bit of a theme here, that's kind of the thing for the Pirates. We get prospects, then trade them to get more prospects. And when they get good, we trade them for more prospects. It's sort of a never-ending cycle. So the next two guys I dislike are Dave Parker and Goose Gossage. And yes, as a player and person, I love Dave Parker and Rich Gossage. I dislike, though, that Dave Parker left the Pirates for the Cincinnati Reds. And after only 1 year with the Pirates, Goose went to the New York Yankees. So going on the theme of Barry Bonds, players that I loved as Pirates, we could not afford to keep and went on to play and win World Series with other teams. The next two guys weren't free agents, but they are former Pirates. Garrett Cole and Andrew McCutchen. They would have been free agents until we traded them for basically nobody. And those nobodies we've since traded away for some more nobodies. So just hate the fact that these guys have excelled on other teams, and we no longer have them. Next two players, I really dislike that the one especially, Harold Baines, is in the Hall of Fame. To me, it's not the Hall of Good. Just really don't feel that he should be in there. And not that Jim Rice shouldn't be in there, but if Jim Rice is in there, and going back to a theme here, Dave Parker should be in there. So I hate the fact that Jim Rice is in there, and I'm going to hold this because it's going to fall, and Dave Parker is not. Very comparable stats. Parker was probably the best player in 3 or 4 or 5 year span in the 70s, and I just think some of his off-field problems hurt him getting in. The next player, something I dislike about Mariano Rivera is, for some reason, it always bugged me that he still wore number 42 when the rest of the league had retired that number. I don't know the story behind it, or if he got the Robinsons family's blessing or what it was, but I was kind of like, why is this guy still wearing the number when everyone else who was wearing it gave it up and retired? So I always disliked the fact that Mariano was still wearing number 42 when the number was retired. Next, I'll use any excuse to keep showing this Satchel Page card. I just love it. I just dislike that Satchel and many other players from the Negro Leagues just didn't get to show what they really could have done in the major leagues. By the time some of these guys made the major leagues, it was the end of their career, and we didn't get to see the real Satchel Page. We never got to see Josh Gibson, never got to see Oscar Charleston, Buck Leonard, Cool Papa Bell. I mean, I wouldn't have seen them anyways, being too young, but I would have loved to see their stats, and I'm sure there would have been some video of those guys playing against the other ones. So the next three, I'm not trying to be morbid or sad, but I hate the fact that Roberto Clemente died in a plane crash trying to help earthquake victims. He did have a long career, but he had 3 little boys, a wife here in Pittsburgh, and they also lived in Puerto Rico, and just a shame that he passed away doing something good. I guess there were other plans for Roberto. The next one is Bo Jackson. Could you imagine what he would have done if he didn't play football or broken his hip? Like, I honestly believe this guy would have been a lock for the Hall of Fame. I just like the fact that, again, like some of the guys who didn't play in the major leagues very long because of the situation in the 40s and 50s, we didn't get to see this guy perform to where the levels that I think he would have been. I think he would have been a shoo-in Hall of Famer. And then the last one I'm going to show is Roy Campanella. Another tragic accident. You know, I just dislike the fact that he got in a car wreck, was paralyzed, and didn't get to finish his career. And what a shame, you know, someone in their prime that young. And life is funny and it'll throw you a curve. And, you know, no matter how good or how famous you are, it doesn't matter. You know, accidents can happen to you as well. So, Rick, congratulations again on your 1,000 subs. I know this is a little off exactly what you asked for, and if it knocks me out of the competition, that's fine. I did it more to support your contest and your channel because I really love what you do, Rick, and I look forward to seeing all your videos. So, as always, guys, thank you for watching my videos, and I'll talk to you soon.